right, here we are on Blackwater Canyon Rim Road, also known as Douglas Road. This is one of the rougher areas out here. This was the road that, when I named Mountains and Mud, this was the road that was the mud. Right now, 3 weeks before the Camp and Ride 2023, not seeing much mud. Still as rough as I remember. But the mud is usually here and places, so it'll just depend on if we've had rain or not in between the time I'm riding it 3 weeks before the event and what we get during the event. But right now, this is one of your rougher rides. I would definitely recommend a skid plate for this. If you're not comfortable riding truly off-road, it's not one I would recommend. Otherwise, this is on the Mountains and Mud. This is actually a route I stopped riding on the Super Tenere. I got tired of riding rougher stuff on the big bike, and so went to just not doing this except on small bikes. But this is far enough away from home for me that I didn't really take the small bike out here. The 890 I'm riding is good for long distance and good for crap like this. All right, let's see. Just go through this here. Lots of ruts in this road. A couple of water crossings. I remember we're small. I haven't ridden this road in about 5 years, so we'll see. Alright, be careful how you get around mud holes like this on this road, because sometimes there's pretty deep holes in them, but we'll see what we got here. Not too bad. Nope, not bad at all. This is not what I consider to be a high-speed dirt road. If I remember correctly, the water crossing is right around this corner. A little waterfall there. Doesn't look like much today, so just go through. Nah, nothing. Alright, well, it doesn't get a lot deeper than that. At least I've never seen it much deeper than that. It's just that rock can be slippery. If you get in there and turn, it might get exciting. Some of these holes you have to watch out for if they're full of water. There can be some really deep areas in, it's not that it's, not this particular one, but I remember a few years ago there was a pothole that just looked like it was, you know, just a little tiny mud hole, but when you went through it, I actually slammed my skid plate on the Tenere coming out the other side. It was so deep. Got off. It's the hardest hit I ever took on a Tenere. Had to look and see if I had punctured the bottom of the engine, which fortunately the skid plate took it. So just be careful with what looks like a simple water hole, and it can be, or just a water, you know, just a little water spot, and it was surprisingly deep. I think this is the hole right here, as a matter of fact. I think this is the hole that most likely when it was full of water, it's pretty steep on the outside coming out of it. It was ugly. So I don't think I've ever seen it empty before. If you're trying a road like this for the first time, be very careful trying to go around the rim of one of these, because there's a pretty steep drop off to the left off the mountain, and you could just find yourself falling back into it. So a lot of times it's better just to take it head on, just go through the center of it. This looks pretty big. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, let's see. Just gonna do it over here, I guess. That's why I called it Mountains and Mud. This seems like the best way. So if you don't want to get your bike dirty, I don't recommend this one. I think the next water crossing is right up here again. The water crossings aren't much. Huh. Well, hold on. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. I need to lock that. Never done that. Into the category of things I stopped doing on my Tenere. Here's the water crossing. Okay. See what we got. All right, so that one where everything was washed out was not the water crossing. Let's see, I can go through it here. Again, watch out, this rock can be slippery. Just go straight through it, not a problem. For anyone wanting to do this from the camp and ride, my opinion is, if you're not really comfortable with a big bike in very rocky and rough and muddy terrain, this is not the best place to start learning how to ride that kind of stuff. If you're leading a group, I would really make sure everybody's comfortable with what they're going to get into on this particular one. It's not for everybody. If I were riding my big old Super Tenere, I'd turn this one down. It's just it's not something I enjoy riding the Tenere on. You got a bunch of people on, 890s or 790 KTMs and stuff like that. Yeah, it's probably not going to be a problem. But even if you're riding that, doesn't mean you're comfortable on this stuff. So, don't just assume that your group can handle this. We've had advanced groups go out before, and that's what I mentioned, that somebody ended up going to the hospital. So that was on an advanced group. So, I mean, truly advanced riders. So it's not necessarily a simple route. And if you don't have a skid plate and you don't have tough tires that can handle a lot of rock, because it is a lot of rock, I'd suggest skipping this one. This looks good. Nothing to it. Okay. Again, be very selective about what you go around and what you go through. If the edge is too steep, you may end up in the water anyways, but you will have slidden into it. That may put you out of control some. But if you're doing this road, you know what you're doing. Remember the one year we had the advanced group down here, and that's who punctured a hole in the crankcase. Romney was good enough to send one of their trucks down this crap to come and pick them up. So this looks interesting. See what we can do here. This, and I'll just go over here. Oh, that's deep. Deep for a mud hole. What have I got? Looks fairly rocky here. Yeah, consider the capabilities of your bike on this one. I have the R model of the 890. It's got extra high clearance. So really not hitting. I haven't hit my skid plate once. But this bike is specifically designed to handle this kind of stuff. Anybody riding a V-Strom 650? Don't recommend it. Unless it's the new one that is built for the dirt, and then good luck. Okay, take a look here. This is a paved road and all kinds of gravel in it. If you're new to this area, to riding in this area, that's not an uncommon scene. You'll be riding along on gravel, or on a paved road, and you'll get to a corner and it'll be just strewn with stones, gravel, and obviously that's slippery when you get on pavement. Here you can see another set of gravel here. A lot of times that happens because people are pulling trailers and they cut the corner a little short and they end up dragging a bunch of stones into the corner. So just be really aware of that as you're riding in the area. Don't assume a corner is clean when you get to it. It could be a mistake. It's likely to be a mistake. I mean, not every corner is that way, and thankfully most of them aren't, but it's very common to see that, so be aware of it. Okay, if you stay there, again, having really good luck with everybody waving me on. I'm not used to passing on the right, but I'll take it. Compared to Douglas Road, this is nothing bump-wise, but compared to your average dirt road, yeah, it's got some rocks in it. You can see there's some rocks coming out, so you understand why the cars are going slow. You know, it's a little bit bumpy, but this is not something I think takes a great amount of experience to ride for anybody that is learning to ride dirt. I don't think this is an unreasonable road, but you got to judge it for yourself and see if you would be comfortable here. Again, this is the road that runs from Cabins, West Virginia, up to the top where you can pick up Dolly Sods, or if you stay straight on this road, it'll take you down to Red Creek into the Canaan Valley. Canaan Valley, once you get to Canaan Valley, if you turn north on the main road, you can end up at the Canaan Valley State Lodge there. It's a beautiful lodge, one of my favorite ones to stay at. Fantastic pizza. So if you're over there looking for a place to eat, that's a really good one. Really nice lodge. Okay, what I see ahead, this is the turn to Dolly Sods. Go right, you'll head down towards Cabins, West Virginia. Turn left, we're going to be going into Dolly Sods, and it looks like it's open. That's good. So Dolly Sods, pretty common for people when they camp and ride to do Dolly Sods. As you can see, look way down. It's a very straight dirt road. It's got some undulation. There's some turns on it, but in general, I mean, it's usually in pretty good shape. It's a popular road. It's popular with cars on the weekends. It's Sunday. I don't see anybody up here, but won't be surprised if we run across some people. Very straight road, good condition. You'll notice some of the trees. This is the area where the branches only grow on one side of the tree, or they get blown off on the other because it blows so hard up here that not that particular one, but it's easy to find examples of trees that don't have any branches on the windward side. I've routinely heard people call this the Dolly Sods is the Dalton Highway of West Virginia, and that it just goes on forever straight. If you've ridden the Dalton Highway, you won't see any similarities at all, but as far as the straightness, if you look down the road here, it just keeps going and going, and I forget the exact number. I think it's a 10-mile road. 8 miles of it, or maybe 7 miles of it, are pretty straight. When you get to the last section before you start going down the mountain on the north side, you get some curves in it. It gets a little more interesting than just straight. But it's a lovely road. It's usually in good shape. I am here, like I said, I'm riding this 3 weeks before the event, and you know, the road's in really good shape. So if you want to get used to riding on you know, gravel roads, this is not a bad one to try. There's nothing particularly challenging about this road. But you know, as always, anytime you're off pavement, you have to be alert. The pine tree section. Section that is the main highlight of Dolly Sods. This is usually where people get out and hike to the edge of the rocks up there to the right. This is usually where you'll find the most people. This is right at the very top when you first get to the top, heading on the north side. So lots of parking here, and then you can just walk out on these, scramble out on these rocks really. It's see if I can stop here and get a good picture of this. Oy. So out there, great place to go and get pictures. Then from here you can see the valley. And then this is where the Dolly Sods Road gets a little more interesting. There's a little more twists and turns to it. It's not straight anymore. It has a lot of curve to it. So, in my opinion, it gets more fun here, but your opinion may vary. Catch a truck ahead, that's no fun. See if he'll let us go. Thank you. Really good luck today with everybody just giving us a break. Going through the gate. I'm sure they close that gate at some point. I'm not sure you can get up here in the wintertime. And you want to stay right unless you can see well enough ahead and enjoy the whole road. Got to get around those blind corners. Once again, this is the north end of Dolly Sods. Lots of blind corners. This is definitely two-way traffic.